Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions for me. I asked you guys to ask me questions that I haven't necessarily answered before, and a few of you did, so thank you so much for leaving your questions. Instagram is where I always talk to you guys, my main channel to be able to communicate with you guys, ask you questions, get your thoughts on video ideas. Definitely add me on Instagram and we can have a chat on there. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up your questions and go ahead and answer them. So let's get started. Okay, so the first question is eating healthy really expensive in Singapore? Okay, so the thing about Singapore is we have all the hawker centres and that kind of thing, which are amazing, but there is very little healthy choice. It's mostly made up of meat and carbohydrates, so there's not really any vegetables or kind of nutrients. So usually day to day I eat at a place called Daily Cut, which provides protein and your vegetables and your supplements, that kind of thing. So on average my lunch costs around $10 for a healthy lunch, which is quite pricey. It's not cheap compared to $3 hawker centre meal. $10 is quite expensive. And also sometimes I'll opt for Yong Tau Fu, which only cost me around $3 or $4, and I can just make sure that I chuck loads of vegetables in there along with a kind of soup. That's a healthier option that I choose a lot as well. So like I've mentioned before, fruit and veg can be really overpriced in Singapore. As a lot of you guys have told me, if you go to fair price it is cheaper, but it is definitely still a lot more expensive in comparison to what we pay in the UK. So I would say generally yes, it is more expensive to eat healthily here. Next question is, do you think university education is better in the UK or in Singapore? This is not something that I can comment on, unfortunately, because I haven't studied here in Singapore, but I do know that the education system in schools is definitely meant to be better than in the UK, but as for university I'm not too sure. I know we do have some really great universities in the UK. Maybe you guys can comment down below, let me know, have you studied in the UK, have you studied in Singapore, and you can comment on that and let everyone know in the comments below. I get asked a lot of questions about finding jobs here, education, what it's like for teenagers to live here, and as you can expect, it's not something that I can comment on because I have no idea. I can only speak from my own experiences. What I like about this channel I've created is it gives everyone a chance to share their voice, their perspective, and I like the little community that we've built here. So I always love that you guys can comment below in these videos, talk to each other, help each other out, because just from my perspective I won't be able to talk on behalf of everyone else. This is a funny question. Who are your friends in Singapore and how do you spend your spare time? Who are my friends in Singapore is a stranger question. Maybe you mean where are they from? I'm not too sure. What I love about living in Singapore is that I have friends from all over the world, which I just think is a great thing about being an expat, is that you get to meet people from everywhere. So I have Singaporean friends, Malay friends, Australian friends, French friends, people from all over, and of course I have friends from the UK as well. How I like to spend my time, me and my friends love to go out for dinner, we love to go to the cinema, I love to go to different kinds of parks in Singapore. I like to do nature trails. I really like to do escape rooms, that's one thing we often do. Bike rides, scooter rides, I don't know, there's all sorts that I like to do, which is why I love being here, because there's so much that you can do. If you had the opportunity to live in a different country of the world except the UK and Singapore, which one would you choose? I'd love to live in Australia. And also, after me and Justin went to New York last Christmas, I never thought New York would be somewhere I'd want to live, but thinking about it now, I think I would like to give it a go living there. I think in summer it would be so nice to live there. In winter, you guys know I'm not a winter person and it was absolutely freezing when we went there, but I think Justin was totally blown over by New York. He said he would definitely work there, and I feel like I would love to give it a try as well. So yeah, maybe New York. Okay, you've probably been asked this before. I'm going to Singapore in January for 3 days. What are the top places you recommend visiting? I think I have answered this before, but like I say, I always take guests to Gardens by the Bay because it's a must. Go check out Sentosa Island if you want a bit of beach. Botanic Gardens is always a must as well. And then I just say check out the hawker centres, make sure you go eat. Maybe like La Passat is a great one to go check out. Obviously go take a look at the Merlion at Marina Bay as well. This is an interesting question. Thank you for the fab videos. I will be moving in with my boyfriend next year. What were the biggest things you learned about each other after moving in together? That's an interesting question, and I guess Justin should be here to answer it with me, but he's not. So when me and Justin moved in together, we'd already been together 4 years, maybe just over 4 years, but we'd always been long distance, so we hadn't even lived in the same town together. We'd always lived like other sides of the country. So when we actually moved in together, not only we were moving to a new country together, but we were moving in together for the first time. I was a bit anxious, I think. I was like, I don't want to share my bed with anyone else. But I don't think there really was too much adjusting. I think it's just like him putting up with my nagging. Like I'm obviously, well, here he is now. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, someone has asked, they said, I'll be moving in with my boyfriend next year and I'd like to know what the biggest adjustments were, or what were the biggest things that you learned about each other after moving in together.
Biggest adjustments? I don't know, nothing really.
Really?
Yeah, quite easy. Pain free.
Am I easy to live with?
Yeah, am I easy?
Yeah. But what about all my nagging?
Yeah, but I knew that before.
Did you?
Yeah.
So literally nothing?
Nothing, yeah.
Wow, I'm like the best girlfriend ever. Well, that wasn't very insightful, but thanks anyway.
Alright.
Well, there you go. It seems I'm the perfect girlfriend, apparently. I don't know, I feel like we were already very close, so it wasn't anything weird like, oh, I wonder if he does this, or, you know, there wasn't really anything I was going to get annoyed by because we'd already been together a good few years, so I feel like I already knew everything about him, so I don't think there was really anything too much to adjust to. This is a really interesting question. Do you get homesick and what do you do to beat it? I haven't talked about homesickness at all, and I think that's a really good topic. I do get homesick. When I first moved here, I was very homesick, but I feel like my homesickness comes in waves. Sometimes it can be really unexpected. Like I think it was about a month ago, I got really homesick because I was really sad that I wasn't going home this Christmas. I haven't been home for 2 or 3 Christmases now, so I just got a bit upset about it and kind of wish that I was going home. But you kind of just get over it again. Like how I overcome it is get on the phone to my mum and dad, talk to one of my friends back home almost every day, and this is going to sound weird, but I love watching British YouTubers that vlog because I can kind of get a glimpse of like what home still looks like. And obviously I know that the UK is still the same, like nothing's changed, like it still looks the same, but it gives me a little insight into like what the weather's doing, or especially this time of year when people are going to start doing Vlogmas and talking about Christmassy things in the UK. I just kind of get a little glimpse of home. I also find that when I know I'm going home, I get more homesick. So I think it's like that anxious waiting thing, like a couple of weeks before I know I'll be flying home, I'll get really homesick. But I think it's just something you learn to cope with as you get older. The older you get, the more you can kind of deal with it, I think. You know, I have a new life here, but also planning dates to see your family is a good way of avoiding homesickness. I know I've not got any plans to go home next year yet, but I should be meeting my parents next April in Japan. Kind of gives me something to look forward to, and I just know that time will fly because it always does here. Time is just, it goes so fast. So the worst part of whenever I feel homesick is when I have to say goodbye to my family. Like that's the worst, and that's when I feel horrible. But you know, once you're back in Singapore, it kind of wears off again. But it's the saying goodbyes that is 100% the worst part. Someone has asked where we can find British food and groceries that you can get back at home. And I went to cold storage the other day. I know I shouldn't still be going there, but they had tons of new English snacks that they'd never had before, but they were so overpriced. I made like a really funny Instagram story about it because I was so angry. Like one of my favourite packet of crisps, they were selling them for $9 and it would literally cost like £1 back home. But if you want like a lot of British food, cold storage does hold them there, but you know, expect to pay stupid prices. But I also know that there is a place called Cost Cutters that sell all the British snacks and I haven't been there yet, but I am gonna set a date to go because I'm so excited. I think I'm gonna vlog myself going there because I don't think I'll be able to contain my excitement. But I looked on their website and they sell all my favourite like UK snacks that I haven't been able to get here, so yeah, I'm gonna film that I think, but that's mainly where you can find them in the UK. The other option is that you just get, you know, a friend or relative to send you them from back home. Okay guys, so I hope I answered your questions. Do be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, you can comment down below with any more questions that you have and I will go ahead and answer them. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to go ahead and hit that red subscribe button if you would like to see more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.